What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. My worst nightmare has been realized. But having said that, I remind myself that my life has shown me that it really is not over until the fat lady sings. You know, I was given a prostate cancer diagnosis back in 2010, and they said it was aggressive and I needed to figure out what I was going to do, and the most time they could give me is 3 months to figure it out. And I ended up going back east to visit for a month, and just I couldn't deal with that because the trip was already planned. Well, I got injured while I was back east in Maryland, and then that put me in a wheelchair for just over a year, and I couldn't deal with that, you know. But when I was able to come through rehabilitation and learning to walk again and all those things, I had to revisit the topic, and my prayers had been answered. They found nothing. They found nothing. And I believe and know to be true that whatever it is that Allah decrees, that's what happens. Doesn't matter what mankind says. And I have to believe, based on faith and evidence, that this is not the final word. It is saddening that our mother continent, that has essentially been missed by all of this fiction, is now being seduced, that this poison is the key to freedom. This is Tony and Ao, who I follow. This is their video from a day ago. I want you to hear what they have said and learned, and then we're going to read from the Ghanaian Health Ministry's announcement or press release. But hear this.
Video all set last week.
Yeah, we did.
To talk about the process of coming back in since we just returned from a brief stint in the States. And things were pretty smooth running.
Right, getting in and out.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a rhythm, there's a flow, everything was going really good. And I was editing the video. And you came in from the other room and you're like...
like, boom. Ghana Health Services just put out a press release which said everybody coming into Ghana has to be vaccinated. Everybody, which means visitors have to show their vaccination card.
Residents. Even
residents.
Citizens.
Yeah. Citizens. Non-resident citizens, even. And if you don't have it coming in, you're like, oh, it's okay. When you get here, we have it waiting for you. So that was a big deal.
That was like a huge deal. And I think part of it was the turnaround time was so tight. Right. I mean, it was like Thursday afternoon.
And it went into effect Sunday morning.
You showed me Friday morning, and it went into effect was it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday morning.
That was, who? So there were people who on a Thursday are thinking they're flying out on a Monday and had to juggle their travel plans
because they weren't vaccinated,
and you need to be fully vaccinated.
Right, so you couldn't be in the middle of it. So you couldn't have like the one dose without the second.
Nope. And you had to have complete boosters. So when Ghana says that you're fully vaccinated, they're saying that they want you to have your initial vaccine and your boosters in accordance with CDC guidelines.
Right.
Manufacturer guidelines. So there were a lot of people.
People in the group were like, well, scratch Ghana off the list. Like,
I thought, there was a lot of that.
I didn't understand it.
Well, I mean, we come from the perspective of, hey, you guys should come to Ghana. Ghana's where it's at. You can live a really nice quality of life with affordability. It's not cheap, but it's affordable, and you still have freedom and of mobility. You're in an area that you're not subject to crime. You can live well. But there's other countries in Africa.
Right.
So, you can go to Kenya. You can go to South Africa.
Yeah. There's other options, and if you let the vaccine steer your way, I kind of get it, but I think if I were in that position, me personally, I'd be like, yo, just give me the jab. I gotta get out of here.
Let's see.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of people who are already vaccinated. They're trapped.
That negates for me. I don't want any white devil attachment to my life at all when I land in Ghana. And for me to allow them to breach my human sovereignty given to me by the divine, by anything. It didn't even have to be the vaccine. Even if the bitch wanted me to wear a fucking something I don't wear or something. Just anything that encroaches on my individuality by force, I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. This is infuriating. And what my people on the continent don't understand is now they're going to start seeing all these cases suddenly. Because we know when we watch the news here, if you listen to 10 different so-called experts, none of them can get their fucking story straight. I brought you the video of the director bitch of the CDC being asked on the floor of the House, testifying in Congress, bitch, how many people at the CDC are vaccinated? She never would answer it. He got specific. He said, well, listen, even if you don't have the number, just when you walk down the hall in your offices, are you seeing empty offices? I just don't have that guidance, and all these fucking trick words. And you want people to make a life-changing decision over some flimsy bullshit. But this is the nature of this white beast. They just puke out anything out of the side of their mouth, and it's supposed to be the gospel that came down with Moses. Well, I'm an intelligent man, and most of all, I'm a sovereign human being, divine in my existence and creation by the one who breathes life into me. And I don't need to acquiesce to some inferior serpent. Inferior serpent. It's like when a brother goes to jail or he goes to prison. The one thing on his priority list at the top is ain't nobody taking my manhood. This is that. This is that. In life, you must identify and articulate the non-negotiables for you. These are the things that make up character, conviction, and foundation and principles. Those are not negotiable unless you're just a wet noodle to begin with, and then we're not talking about you. You don't get to have convictions that can just be compromised because some white devil utters some vague and probably untrue vomit when their whole history is nothing but lies and deception and evil. And as Africans, we're supposed to believe you're so fucking concerned about us. You're so concerned. Yeah, you concerned, all right. But it errs to the side of evil. And any African with half a brain anywhere falling for, acquiescing to anything that these demons pronounced deserves whatever they get. It's about money. It's not about health care. And they're just going to variant your ass to fucking death. You got a child right now. When they're 50, there's another variant. They've got some name ready for it already. But to me, then now Ghana owes me a refund on my ticket. You want to say, listen, any new travelers who've not bought tickets, you don't have a passport, you've not secured a visa, you have not made any travel plans, okay, that's still some bullshit. But it would be more equitable. It's a betrayal and a hardship indeed for those of us who have made the preparations, and now you want to spring this out in the middle of people already have travel plans. You know, I don't want to be bitter at Ghana because my venom is always for this white devil. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it don't quit. I'm always on. So I don't want to be upset with Ghana, but I'm furious at lack of vision, lack of education, lack of will. Africa needs to understand you don't need to follow this white devil down any road because they all lead to hellfire. That's it. You lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. And in the case of these people, it's fleas, it's lice, it's crabs, it's some things that's not even been named yet. It's just a cesspool of disease with these people. And they are obsessed with getting this fucking vaccine onto the continent. The same one they have set up whole systems to economically oppress. And we believe this is benevolent? Who thinks that? Ask them how many of them thinks OJ has changed. Well, look, it's been this many years. That's the past. OJ has changed now. Why are you still holding on to the past? They're still as pissed about OJ today as they were the day the shit happened. They don't let go of shit, and I've been telling you, we don't let go of shit. I don't. I don't need to. I'm like an elephant. I hold shit. I hold it eternally so that I never forget why I don't like your ass. So that I can always respond to you properly. You don't just sneak in and I forget. Nah. Let us now look at this from the health service from Ghana. I don't know how much of this will be viewable for you. So just bear with me, everybody. You know. And the other part of this is that this is a left hook to me because my worry was that the white devils here would affect the airlines, and then the airlines would be like, oh, you can't unless you have been vaccinated. I couldn't have foreseen that Ghana, or certainly any African country, would be like, yeah, you need to go ahead and have this. And as Tony and Ao were saying, even if you don't get it, when you get there, they got the shit ready for you. I think my last ditch effort is to continue on my path, fly into that bitch, dare them to try to fucking vaccinate me, and try everything that I can, make a scene, threaten lawsuits, appeal to their sense of humanity, whatever I gotta do, because I don't believe in taking no for an answer when I know there can be a yes. I'm one individual. I don't have fucking COVID. I'm not a danger to humanity or any country I would go to. And I'd rather have them tell me, you have to leave. Or it seems enough that wouldn't you have a backup? Like, okay, well, you need to quarantine for 14 days or some bullshit. Like, I'm not a danger. That's what kills me, because right now, if you show up to like a dentist and you go, yeah, I need a tooth pulled, and they do the x-rays and they go, we don't see anything, we see no issue with your teeth, there's no extraction needed here, we can't do it. Woman shows up to the hospital, I'm pregnant, I need an epidural, and then they do ultrasounds, they go, bitch, you're not even pregnant, so we're calling security. How is this different? This is giving someone else another helping of food that they didn't ask for, and they're already full. I pick one. This is give a fuck what you got going on or who you are. It's what we say. And that's what makes it egregious. Not to mention the changing and evolving, the shifting and moving lies that are being told every day by the Faucis and the the CDC bitch and the anybody you talk to every 5 minutes it's something else and we don't know and we can't. So we're supposed to go on this faulty, nobody speaking with the same voice. This is right back to Bush claiming they didn't have good intelligence. The memo said bin Laden determined to attack with planes inside the U.S. It is pretty clear. If he even said that. But we'll go with their fiction. That's what they said he said. Now, new vaccine requirements for travelers to Ghana. The Ghana Health Service has announced new vaccination requirements for all travelers to Ghana, effective at midnight, local time, 12th December 2021. The following information is from Ghana Health Service press release. And then it gets into all persons 18 and older arriving in Ghana will be required to provide evidence of full vaccination for this fake bullshit. All unvaccinated Ghanaians and residents to Ghana who are currently outside of the country and intend to return within 14 days from the December 12th deadline are exempted. However, they will be vaccinated on arrival in the airport in Ghana. This is Gestapo, dude. This is diabolical. It's time for people to understand violence is going to have to be the only way. Because these people are not afraid of the populace, so they've gotten so arrogant because nobody's beating their ass physically. They feel like they can just tell you what the fuck to do and fuck up your life. Because there's no consequence. I always say, your government has to fear you. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. But they've made it the other way around because the American people are the dumbest fucking people ever to exist in all of civilization at any time you want to take a snapshot in. Definition of fully vaccinated is a person is said to be fully vaccinated when he or she has taken the full dose of vaccines approved and registered by the Food and Drug Administration of Ghana. You need 2 doses of the AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and Moderna, or Sputnik, to be declared as fully vaccinated, or 1 dose of Johnson & Johnson vaccine is required to be declared fully vaccinated. Well, Allah gave me an immune system, and I'm fully vaccinated, bitch. Do you understand? So I don't know what this means. I do know what it means. It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. I'm disgusted. Wow. I can't, dude. I don't know, dude. I have to come up with a plan of my own. I will not be denied. And whether it was a vaccine or if it was any fucking thing else, I am not going to be denied free movement across the earth that Allah created for all of mankind. Because a few fucking white people can sit someplace and dictate my fucking life. My mission is to find their goddamn address and where their children sleep at night. It's time for fear to be struck in these motherfuckers who just cavalier make decisions about your whole fucking existence while they guzzle Dom Perignon and make up more lies and shit. Let us collectively pray for the horrible deaths of these evildoers. As Muslims, Allah tells us we are to shun and to stamp out evil wherever we find it. We're supposed to be the most vigilant and passionate and forceful against unrighteousness and evil. I have always been that. I don't tolerate it. I don't. I'm not going to have my life existence be defined by someone who's the devil and not worthy, and who is not me, trying to tell me what I need to do with my life. You understand? I'm over it. The people need to join together because money talks. And countries like Ghana can't really afford major blows to their tourism and their visitation. You know, you just had the year of return. You got all these people sized to come home, and now you're going to pull this shit? It's a betrayal. What about people who have already gone there and set up investments and things like that and need to travel back and forth now and have gotten into sort of a rhythm, you know, and, you know, they've moved part of their family there maybe and all this, and then poof, you're going to hit them with this? It's a coercion. And in any transaction under white devil ass American law, anything done under duress is not valid. That's what it is. If it's done under duress or coercion, it's not valid. That's what's real. That's what's real. So I seek your thoughts and guidance to add to my own pot of thought, because I'm ready to do something very heinous. I make no jokes about that. I need to be clear. I don't want to get too worked up because I'm barely trying to get over whatever this illness is that seized upon me the last several days. But I am not done with this, because this hits right home. You understand? And what about the price of my fucking ticket I've already paid? Is Ghana gonna refund that? Huh? I hate the fuck out of America. This is the Jedi.